Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Spring is here and your local Ace has everything you need for your lawn and garden. Now through Monday only, save up to 25% on key items across the store, like Miracle-Gro Moisture Control Potting Mix and Garden Soils, Scott's Naturescapes Mulch, Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, and much more. Hurry in now to get up to 25% off these and so much more at your local Ace. Sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Includes instant savings offers for Ace Rewards members. See store for details.
Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girlz. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girlz.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girlz Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and I'm here with my co-host all the way from Tucson, Patricia Kirkman, PK. How are you tonight?
Absolutely freezing. I'm kidding. It's 72. I'm not freezing.
Oh, well,
Just
for Tucson, that's a kind of a chilly temperature. I can understand that.
Yes, it is. But the sun's out, so that's good. It was raining yesterday, and that in itself is a novelty. So, we've got the best of both worlds here.
You have everything great out there in Tucson. You really do.
Of course.
Yes.
Is there a doubt?
There's no doubt in my mind.
Good.
We're freezing here in New England. It's been cold and rainy, and I don't even want to talk about it because I'll get upset. It's not been good.
No. But you had all those bears walking up and down your driveway. You should have gotten
one. We had a 500-pounder walking up the driveway.
I saw that. Incredible.
Yes, it's on our Facebook page, on the Supernatural Girl page, if you want to take a look at that. Everybody in our audience, take a look at that big guy. He is enormous.
Yard than the zoo does.
I know. We got so much going on here. Between the paranormal stuff that goes on our driveway and throughout the property and the wildlife, I mean, we have it all. We really do. It's terrific.
It's
terrific. So we have a couple things going on. I just need to mention we have availability of video. People can watch us now as we talk about these great subjects. And all you have to do is go to irnchat.com. That's irnchat.com. And go to the menu, hit tube, T-U-B-E, and you'll be able to see us as well as listen. So, unfortunately, our guest tonight is not on video, but that's okay. He is going to be giving us all of his secrets about Bigfoot. We've been waiting patiently, well, actually kind of impatiently for this. But now we've got him on the show. We're very excited. In a few minutes, we're going to bring him on, hear all the great stuff about Bigfoot. Stuff you can't even imagine. I'm telling you, it's great. I've read his book, and here it is. It's a beautiful book. Take a look at that. It's gorgeous. A 50-year journey come full circle. It's a great book, a great read. I could not put it down. It was excellent. I highly recommend it to everybody to read. It will blow your mind. He's got some great things in there. And Matt's a great writer. Dr. J, we also call him. He's a terrific writer. And this book is a real page turner. So highly recommended. Now, tell us, what's going on numerologically?
Well, today's been a 7 day, so it's a day for investigation and finding out the true facts about things. So isn't that interesting because of your paranormal news and Dr. J, what he's coming up with? So it's all about figuring out what good stuff is taking place that we didn't know about.
That's right.
And so we get to learn all this today, and then tomorrow we can kick back and decide where we're going to spend our money.
Oh, that sounds like a good day.
Yes, but it's things that you're going to do for the house, around the house, or for the family.
Okay. That sounds like a nice, easy day.
It is. It is. And besides that, you may decide that you want to go out and find out something more about alternative foods, alternative medicines.
Okay.
And the more you can, the better it's going to be for you.
That's always on my list. That's
I know
good.
it's on yours. You're forcing it on mine because I'm learning more and more.
I am.
I know it now, but actually, you have opened my eyes to many things.
Oh, good. Well, we got to keep you healthy, girlfriend. You got to just stay with it and stay youthful. That's all there is to it. You're doing a great job. Doing a great job. That's right. You're an inspiration. So tell us a little bit about the word Bigfoot. I know you were going to take a quick look at that.
Well, taking a look at it, we always look at the first vowel, first consonant in a name. And, of course, for Bigfoot, it deals with the number 2. It's about being overly sensitive. Now, isn't that part of who he really represents? But he's also multitasking. There's always 2 things that he does, never just one. A minimum of 2 is what I should say. But that be up front by the name that we've given him makes him extremely sensitive to everything with the BI aspect of it. But the name that Dr. J has used, that's going to have another connotation to it. So I was thinking, oh, that would be interesting. Well, that ends up being a 9 about things for everybody else.
Oh.
So it's very interesting to see what's going to be taking place.
Well, I cannot wait to see. It just seems like the veil's getting thinner and thinner. More people are having these wonderful experiences with beings from other dimensions, and they're coming in and seeming to want to have contact with us. So that's always good. I mean, look at the photographs that we posted on our Facebook page. Definitely. Now, that came from a whistleblower who was top clearance and released these photographs of UFOs. You'll find it on our Facebook page. And those are some pretty remarkable photos.
Oh, incredible photos. I couldn't believe them. I was sitting looking at them, and I showed them to a friend of mine as well. And it's almost, it reminds you of what was the movie, of the extraterrestrial movie where they, something of the third kind. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's the one.
But when you look at the photos, it's like, wow, everything under the sun is not brand new. It's already been brought out before. And why don't we pay a little bit more attention to what we're being given privy information to?
Well, exactly. And those photographs were so crystal clear. And they didn't, I don't like the photographs where they kind of look like clouds. You know, it just doesn't quite sit right with me. But these were clear photographs of ships.
Exactly.
No question what they were.
Well,
and
the other is kind of shady because you're not sure, is it something they're putting out there to make it look like?
Right.
It's clear. Plain as a bell.
I know. So this was there was no question. And also, our guest last week, John Edmonds from the Alien Ranch, his photographs were crystal clear like that too, which is very exciting. Now, last week, your room, I just got to mention this, turned foggy for the 2nd week in a row. We haven't found the source of this mysterious fog because you've got all the windows shut. So there's nothing that should be coming in and clouding up your room, but yet people have seen it. People that are watching the video of us tonight and will watch the podcast later will see what might happen tonight too. You gotta keep our eyes peeled for this because it's quite an experience to see your room get like that. Well, so we'll get to the bottom of it eventually, won't we?
Well, I hope so. You know what's really strange about it is because I'm seeing it on the screen. I'm looking at it, and I turn around and look in my room. It's clear as a bell. I'll look outside, think it must be foggy or hazy. It's clear as a bell. So whatever it is, hey, tonight I'd like a little message as to what it is. I think
exactly.
We're told.
That's right. That's right. We got to get to the truth of what it is. That's what we do on this show, right?
Yes.
So now we got to find out what's happening in your room. So we're going to watch you closely tonight.
Okay.
So everybody, please make sure you sign up for the Fringe Files newsletter. You can do that on our website, supernaturalgirls.com. And follow us on Facebook. Give us a like. Follow us on Twitter so you can keep up with all the great stuff that we're doing and all the announcements we have coming up. We've got some super advertisers you might want to visit. Ezra at thehighendorg. He's a medical marijuana consultant, can help you navigate that field and find out what's best for you, tell you if it's legal in your state, all that stuff that you're going to need to know. And we also have scalar treatments for free. Again, free. That's free. Absolutely free, no credit card required. Yes. And that is from Tom Palladino. If you go on our website, you can click on the link, and you will be brought to a website, creativestrength.us. You just type in your name, send out your photograph, and they'll start treatment on you. No charge. So give it a whirl. It is worth it. Scalar energy is very pure, very clean, and very powerful. So go to supernaturalgirlz.com and check it out. We got the coolest things on our show, don't we? But now we've got the coolest guy on our show. The coolest guy we've been, as I mentioned, impatiently waiting for. And his name is Dr. Matthew A. Johnson. I'm going to read from the back of his book because it's a great synopsis of who he is. Mm-hmm. He's a licensed clinical psychologist. He's been working in the mental health field since 1982. He's a husband, father of 4 children, author, international speaker, Bigfoot researcher, and author of Positive Parenting with a Plan. He has trained thousands of professionals and parents all over the USA, Canada, and around the world. So he's a big wig. He's a big guy, too. He's 6'9". It's amazing.
Big all the way around. No wonder he's looking for Bigfoot.
And see, Bigfoot was looking for him because for some reason they found this man, and I think it's because he also has a big heart. So we're going to get him on the show here, and he's going to tell us his experiences. And also, again, his new book right here. It's a fantastic book, Bigfoot, A 50-Year Journey Come Full Circle. Dr. J, welcome to the show.
Hey, girls. Thanks for having me on. It's a little foggy in my room, too, but I think it's because I ate refried beans last night.
Oh, my God.
You can keep that over there. We don't need to share that with you.
Yeah. Good thing I'm not on video. Would not be pretty.
That would not be. That's right. So instead, they can just look at the ladies in pink tonight. That's PK and I both chose the same pink outfits, even though we had no idea we were doing that. We're just on the same wavelength.
Clear view. Yes.
But you are in the Bigfoot vibration. So please give us some background. This started out just without you even asking for it. It just happened. So tell us what happened with you and your family.
Well, real quick in a nutshell, because this could take a whole half hour. We lived in Alaska. I lived there for 20 years. My wife at that time lived there for about 25 years. And we moved down to southern Oregon to be closer to family in Oregon. And we went hiking up on the mountain above the Oregon Caves National Monument Park, and we were on the Big Tree Loop Trail, and we walked through this area where we smelled something horrific. But we kept hiking because we knew we didn't have anything to worry about because we were in Oregon. So therefore, there were no grizzly bears like there are in Alaska. And we continued to hike, and then something was following us. And when we were walking, it would do a deep bass gut mammal, whoa, 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 which is, I'm not even coming close to what it sounded like. And then when we stopped, it stopped. When we walked, it did it again. Eventually, we reached a point on the trail, where the kids wanted a break. They were 9, 7, and 5 at that time. Good hikers. We hiked all the time in Alaska, but they still needed a break. And so did I. So they were playing with a bug with a stick on the path, and I hiked up off the trail through the brush and the trees so I could answer the door that Mother Nature was knocking on. Took care of business, and then I was up above, my family on the slope of the mountainside, and kind of they were down the slope to my left, and I was scanning the tree line to see if I could see what might be following us if it was in the area. And then that's when I saw, Bigfoot walk off the pages of myth and legend into reality, and totally blew my cognitive schema of the great outdoors apart. My brain rebooted, protective defense mechanisms kicked in, ran down through the brush and trees and got my family out of there as fast as I could. Needless to say, 17 years ago, I was scared to death. Subsequently, after we got off the mountain, I made a report to the ranger station after we talked about the pros and cons of doing that. Decided to do it because if we had seen a black bear up there or a cougar up there, we would have made a report for safety reasons for hikers. So why not report a Bigfoot? And so I did, and then news shot around the world.
And you, because I think you are a clinical psychologist, people really took you seriously. You became a very credible witness to them, right?
Yes, I think it was the perfect storm of a Bigfoot report. I am a clinical psychologist. It was a family and not just me by myself. And it was in the boundaries of the national park. So all these things collided to, garner attention from the media as well as the general public.
Now, you were on one of the big network morning shows, right? Which one was that?
I was on the Today Show, and I was supposed to be interviewed by Brian Gumbel, but he was sick, thank goodness. So Jane Clayson had to step up to the plate and interview on his behalf. So I was happy when I knew she was. Yeah,
you did a great job because, as we all know, network news shows, even the innocuous Good Morning America type shows and Today shows, they always try to make fun of people about this. And she couldn't get away with that with you, could she?
No. And, hitting the rewind button a little bit, they contacted me, and they were only going to give me 2 minutes. Well, I thought they were a local Oregon TV station. I didn't know it was, them out of New York City. And I said, nope, not going to do it for 2 minutes. I need 4 minutes. Okay, whatever. So she said, I'll talk with my boss and get back to you. She said, we'll give you 4 minutes, but and the only way we're going to do it is if you promise not to, do Good Morning America or any of the other shows first. And I said, what? I said, who is this? We are the Today Show out of New York City. And I'm like, oh, wow. So, and then it turns out when we did the interview, and she did try to make me look funny, do your friends think you're crazy? I was like, no, I'm a psychologist. I'm a Christian. My friends know I won't lie. I'm telling the truth. And I could tell by her body language later on after I got home and was watching the video that caught her off guard. Nobody prepped her. So she continued with the interview, and instead of 4 minutes, I got 10 minutes out of it, which is like really precious for network time in a morning show.
Good for you, Dr. J. That's good. Good for you, because we know how hard they work sometimes at, again, dismissing people that have experiences in the paranormal. But you handled it so well. It's terrific.
Thank you.
So, yes, you're welcome. So it's good for all of us, when you represent all of us when you go on shows like that, and it's terrific. Now, you got home, and after you had reported this, and something called you back to the forest.
Yeah, I was being called out there. My initial desire was to go into the woods and grab Bigfoot by the scruff of the neck and drag him out for everyone to see so I could prove I wasn't crazy and that they were real. But it turns out, looking back now, 2020 hindsight, that, Bigfoot grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and dragged me into the forest so I could learn more about them, which was pretty cool.
It's very cool because you adopted a very different way of going about this than a lot of other Bigfoot researchers.
I did. Only after doing it the way the other researchers do it. I call it the old school approach, and I did it for the first 10 years. And essentially, in a nutshell, you use high-tech equipment, lots of trail cams and seismic sensors and night vision and thermal imaging and, all that kind of stuff. And you whack on trees with sticks and you do bobo screams out in the woods and you bait them with food because theoretically old schoolers believe Bigfoot is a descendant of Gigantopithecus, which is Latin for giant mountain ape. But in reality, they think it's just a dumb giant mountain ape that they're eventually going to catch on camera and film and all that kind of stuff and find a body. And after 10 years of doing that, we'd pull up plenty of tracks out of the ground, casting the foot impressions and finding bedding areas and some scat piles, and we'd hit a tree and get a whack back. We'd do a scream and get a scream back. But after 10 years, that's it. That's all we were getting. Nothing any better than that. And I started thinking, I just did this for 10 years. Is this all I'm going to get for the next 10, next 20, next 30? And so I decided to change up, and I did, and I started doing it a habituating approach, Dr. Jane Goodall, the chimp lady approach. Leave the high-tech equipment at home, go hang out, sing, talk, play music, put food in gifting bowls, 150 feet away from camp, put them out at dark, pick them up at sunrise, and everything changed.
So you really started to develop a way to communicate, a way to have a relationship with Bigfoot. Very different. Very different.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. Had to change my theoretical orientation. Had to accept the fact that the North American Indians were right all along, that they're not dumb giant mountain apes. They're actually forest people who live in family groups, who live in clans or belong to clans, who belong to tribes. They have a social system. They have a culture. They have language and intelligent, sentient beings. And once I changed my theoretical orientation and my approach, then they started noticing that I was being much more respectful and started reaching back to me.
How nice. Now, I can imagine the excitement that you felt when this started happening. But let's play, if we could, a couple of your sound clips, and you can explain what they are so that people can get a sense of what you were listening to. Now, I know you didn't go in there specifically to get sound clips or any photographs, but you went in to have a relationship with them and to communicate. And this is some of what you got back, right?
Right. And before we play number one, I would like to give just a little bit of background. I did use a parabolic microphone dish, a bionic ear, with a digital Sony recorder. And the reason why is that's passive technology. It's anchored down in the base camp, and it can pick up sounds up to a football field away from the base camp, and it's not all up in their face. It's not intrusive. And so I was recording all night long for 8, 10, 12 hours, and the first clip you're going to play is my first ever recording of spoken language, which blew me away. It sounds like Aga Y8. It sounds like a North American Indian dialect with staccato syllables. And that word Aga Y8 was spoken both times. My 5-year-old son, at that time, Grady, exited the tent to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. And so then you heard, and this is what you heard.
No, I went home and listened to the recordings after we were done camping, and it blew my mind that we captured that.
Okay, great. So Joe is going to play it back to back so we can hear it.
So just so Joe knows, I have everything looped about 2 or 3 times already. So he didn't say it, Aga Y8 3 times. He actually said it twice, but only once. The recording was really thorough. But you have to imagine, I've never heard any spoken language from them, and I had been out there for 11 years by this time. So when I captured that audio recording of them saying that when Grady exited the tent, it just was awesome. Blew my mind. It was a game changer.
That must have been, when I was listening to this just now, I felt like I was being transported to another dimension. How about you, PK? Seemed to affect you also.
Well, it's very different. The feel for it, the anticipation of what is it that they're actually saying. And I was thinking about the food bowls that you put out, the ceremonial bowls, and I was very interested as you went out about their choices or selection of what they'll take to eat. I thought that was very, very interesting.
Yeah, it took me years to figure out that they gravitate toward bread products, not the vegetables, not the fruit, not the meat. The second audio recording is of Chatty Cathy, the juvenile female, and she's talking on the perimeter while we're sleeping. This was recorded around 2 in the morning while we were sleeping.
It does sound like a teenager.
Yep. That's definitely Chatty Cathy. She was very, very verbal.
Now, could you interpret what she was saying? Did you know what she was trying to communicate?
I have no idea what that means, and unless they tell you what the word means, you're not going to have any idea what it means. The third recording, can you read what the language is next to number 3? What the words are?
Joe, can you do that for us?
Number 3.
Okay.
Go ahead and play that, and I'll fill in the information after you play it. What that is Johnny Manson and I were sleeping in camp. It was December of 2013. It was 22 degrees out. This also was recorded between 2 and 3 in the morning. We woke up with ice on our bags and icicles hanging down from the trees. And she was standing at the foot of Johnny's cot and talking. And he was awake but scared to death and had his head under the sleeping bag. And
Like that's going to keep him safe.
Right. And I kind of joke around and say, I know what Nipkia means because that's what she's saying. Nipkia. Nipkia means look at that ugly bald-headed dude sleeping next to that really tall, handsome guy. Yeah.
Of course that's what it means.
Sure, exactly. Now, what's the wording next to audio clip number 4? Okay, so that one is later on. When Johnny and I woke up, we went and retrieved the gifting bowls. We were freezing to death, and we needed to get inside the Suburban and turn on the engine so we could turn on the heater and warm up. And so, we eventually got inside the Suburban and closed the doors and started up and started thawing ourselves out. Well, I was still recording while we were sitting in the Suburban while it was idling. Later on, after I got home and listened to the recordings, when we were inside the Suburban, the adolescent male was calling my name out, Matt, 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 getting a little more desperate every time. I think he thought we were leaving. It's a cool recording.
That is so clear.
Yes.
There's no question that he's saying your name over and over again.
Yeah, I actually
Wow.
have 15. I have 15 different recordings of them saying my name. My dog's name once, Cynthia's name once, Adam's name once. So, pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. Now we've got a few more clips to listen to, but we're coming up to a break, and so we're going to have to take that short commercial break, and we'll come back. We're going to play more clips. We're going to get more of the deeper truth about who is Bigfoot, where do they come from? And so we are going to talk about some things that we have not been able to talk about on the show before. We're thrilled to be able to reveal this thanks to Dr. J. And we will be right back. So stay tuned, everybody. You are listening to Supernatural Girlz Radio.
listening to IRN, the Inception Radio Network, Chicago, Illinois.
You didn't forget what's coming up tonight, did you? Hi, Inception Radio Network listeners. This is Amanda. Never miss that interview you were looking forward to or the show on your favorite topic. Follow IRN on Twitter, I_R_N, and get reminders about the evening's live shows as well as fun and important updates throughout the week. That's I_R_N, and never miss a great show again.
Do you want more out of life? CreativeStrength.us can help you turn your dreams into a reality. Do you suffer from common health issues or stress? Are you sick of living day after day in pain and anxiety? Have you tried traditional methods but see no results? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then the 15-day Scalar Energy Healing free trial is perfect for you. When you sign up for the Scalar Energy free trial, you'll get 3 free treatments: a pathogenic cleanse, nutrient therapy, and chakra balance for every day of the 15-day trial. Go to CreativeStrength.us to learn more about this free trial and sign up. There is no credit card required, only your willingness to improve your life. Anyone, anywhere in the world can register for this free trial of Scalar Energy treatments. Healing energy is all around us, and now CreativeStrength.us has a way to help you harness it to improve your daily life. Only a picture of yourself is needed to be treated with Scalar Energy. Simply email your photo and enjoy the Scalar Energy treatments. You can experience the miraculous, life-changing powers of Scalar Energy Healing from the comfort of your own home. Visit CreativeStrength.us. Change your life for the better, effortlessly. Go to CreativeStrength.us today.
Hi, can you hear my voice? Imagine how many other people can hear it too. If you have advertising needs, then look no further. The Inception Radio Network currently has openings for on-air advertisements and radio show sponsorships. Given any thought to your target demographic? Inception has you covered there too. Advertising on a network gives you multiple opportunities to advertise on a wide variety of radio show broadcasts, and we have one to fit every advertising need. You know, in recent years,
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Spring is here and your local Ace has everything you need for your lawn and garden. Now through Monday only, save up to 25% on key items across the store, like Miracle-Gro Moisture Control Potting Mix and Garden Soils, Scott's Naturescapes Mulch, Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, and much more. Hurry in now to get up to 25% off these and so much more at your local Ace. Sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Includes instant savings offers for Ace Rewards members. See store for details.
Internet radio has exhibited a phenomenal listener growth. An Arbitron Edison survey shows that online radio boosts at least 33 million unique visitors each week and 54 million each month. And that number amazingly continues to grow. And these listeners are a part of many businesses' core demographics. And surveys have shown that internet radio listeners are far more likely than regular radio listeners to spend money on a whole range of activities. You know, internet listeners vote, they dine out, eat fast food, and they grab a cup of coffee. And here's the interesting one. They buy items online at a much higher rate than all other market segments combined. Internet radio also enables businesses to connect with consumers during work hours, where increasingly more lifestyle decisions are being made. Advertise with the best. The Inception Radio Network offers competitive advertising rates to fit just about anyone's advertising budget. Stop by today at www.inceptionradionetwork.com or call us toll-free at 1-888-919-2355. Get the word out. Get results with the Inception Radio Network.
Are you a fan of Inception Radio Network? Do you reckon it's the best alternative talk radio station on the planet? Well, if you do, head to facebook.com/Inception Radio Network and like the page. Tell your friends, spread the word, and keep listening to the best.
Hello, Inception Radio Network listeners. This is Amanda. Remember, you can take your Inception radio shows on the go. Just download the Inception Radio Network app for your iPhone, iPad, or Android smartphones and access live shows, past shows, guest lineups, and much more. Just visit the iTunes Store or the Google Play Marketplace and download it today for free.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Attorney Quintilian answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy attorney Pat Quintilian's book today. Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Available on Amazon.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girlz Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker. I'm here with my co-host from Tucson, PK, and our amazing guest, one of our favorite guys. I think he's our favorite big guy, right? Dr. Matthew Johnson.
Nobody's going to argue with him either about his topic when he knows.
Right. That's right. We're so thrilled to have him on the air tonight, and he's telling us all about Bigfoot, and we're playing audio clips. We just heard Bigfoot say his name over and over again, Matt, Matt, Matt. So, Dr. J, that was an incredible audio recording, and now you have even more audio recordings to play.
I do. I have two more I'd like to play for you, and then kind of take a little break, talk a little more, and then play the seventh and final one. The next audio clip is of an older adult male talking with a younger child. Now, what's interesting is the cadence in this particular audio clip is really fast when the adult is talking. So their cadence will change. Sometimes it's slow, like ego white, the slow staccato syllables, but this one is a very fast cadence. But the young one responds with the word hick, like H-I-C, and or H-I-C-K, hick. And I have listened to hundreds of hours of audio recordings of spoken Bigfoot language that I've gathered over the years, and I've been able to conclude, I think with 95% accuracy, that the word hick is equivalent to what we do when we go, uh-huh, oh, okay, when we're acknowledging that we heard what someone said. I think that's what hick is.
Very cool. All right, so we're going to hear that clip number 5 right now.
Well, your listening audience can go to SoundCloud.com and type in Team Squatchin USA and listen to almost 200 audio files. And I would encourage them to scroll down to the bottom and listen to the oldest audio files and work their way up from there. And eventually they'll hear that one. The 6th audio file that we hopefully will get to play was actually recorded when Adam Davies and John Carlson were at the SOA base camp with me in June of 2014. We had just spent all night there, and we had retrieved the gifting bowls in the morning. We were all tired, and we brought the gifting bowls back to the base camp, set them on the table at the 12 o'clock position on the perimeter, and I also had the parabolic microphone dish there recording. And we had a box of 4 cinnamon rolls there, Cinnabon rolls, and so there was Adam and John and myself and my son Grady, so 4 people, 4 rolls. So we went back to sleep in our sleeping bags on our cots with the intention of, once we woke up again later that morning, we were going to have Cinnabon rolls for breakfast. Well, we woke up later, and we went over there to the box, which was still on the table, but all 4 Cinnabon rolls were gone out of the box. So I listened. So I listened to the audio recording after that, and sure enough, it sounds like we had 3 of them at the table, talking as they were taking the Cinnabon rolls.
Oh, funny.
It should be looped a couple times.
Sounds like they like those Cinnabons.
Yeah, and you notice the one was kind of singing, talking, kind of like, "Ah, de Welu."
Yes.
And that's Squatchanese for score. We got the Cinnabon rolls.
That's great.
So they like French products. There's no doubt about that.
Now I want some Cinnabon roll. Those things sound delicious. Just the name. I mean, I'm salivating. Well, that's terrific. So you made them very happy with the gift that you gave them.
Oh yeah. They love cinnamon rolls and donuts and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and bagels and cheese breadsticks and cookies, bread products. They love bread products.
So if you're going to put out a gifting bowl, then that's good advice. That's what you would put in those bowls.
I would. They can get fruit out there in their natural environment, vegetables out there in their natural environment. They get everything out there in their natural environment, but they don't get bread products out there. And bread products are carbs, high energy, and they love the high energy food products.
All right. Now you have one more audio clip to play for us, but you wanted to give us a setup on that one.
Yeah, I do. I mentioned that Adam Davies and John Carlson were out there with myself and Grady in June of 2014. The first 2 nights had lots of Squatch activity on the perimeter from the 9 o'clock position to the 12 and on to the 3 o'clock position. So it was pretty awesome. And I think all that activity was kind of making Adam and John nervous, so they were hanging out on the other side of the Suburban at the 6 o'clock position, avoiding all the activity. And they were smoking their backwoods cigars and nervously talking and laughing and joking. And I was getting a little miffed because, they were there to experience Squatch activity. Instead, they seemed to kind of be hiding away from it, distancing themselves because they were nervous and scared. And so they kind of got farther and farther away. Then all of a sudden they were yelling my name, "Come here." And I'm like, no, the activity is over here. You guys get up here. Matt, come here. No, you guys come here. Matt, come here. So I walked around the Suburban and looked at the 6 o'clock position, and bam, there was a portal open on the road at the 6 o'clock position, probably 10, 12 feet diameter. And they're like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I've never seen that up here before." And it was like Stargate. You were looking through this big round hole into another world, red sky, dark scraggly vegetation, and then these 2 3-foot tall beings appeared with glowing red eyes, and they were kind of like guardians of the portal, keeping us from, getting close and trying to go into it, not that we would. And so that ended up occurring the last 2 nights we were there, and scared those 2 to death. And Adam and John did an interview later on and talked about how, they processed that, and they wound up with different conclusions than I did. They thought it was, like a gateway to hell with demonic beings. And I'm like, no, I saw a Squatch walk out of that portal 3 months later in September of 2014. So they thought it was 2 separate incidents. Like I had squatches up there, and I also had a gateway to hell with demonic beings. And, you know, how lucky am I? I've got 2 really off-the-wall events going on in the same spot. I need to buy a lottery ticket. I'm that lucky. And so bottom line is they're not separate. They're the same thing. They're all tied together. And again, I saw a Squatch walk out of that portal in September of 2014. And,
now, when you saw this for the first time, Dr. J, did you sense any energy around it? I mean, did you feel any electricity or any kind of a pull?
Yeah. When you
heaviness?
got closer, you could feel it. I could feel it light up my central nervous system. And I poked around that area for the following year trying to reopen it, and I couldn't get it to reopen. And finally, it took me a year to problem solve and brainstorm as to how we accidentally opened it up. And what I finally realized was on the day of that third night, I had taken Adam Davies and John Carlson to the Oregon House of Mystery, the Oregon Vortex, and we took the tour there, and you're essentially on the property for an hour, and we're in the middle of a magnetic vortex. So somehow we managed to bring some magnetic energy, which I call juju, back with us, and that was the key to open up the portal. So in June of 2015, I had some people with me. I said, you guys trust me, right? You know I'm not going to do anything dangerous. Yeah, we trust you, Matt. So I took them on the tour without telling them why. And, you know, it was a fun tour. And we came back to the camp, and later on that night, we opened up the portal. Now, it wasn't to red sky and dark scraggly vegetation. Instead, it was a portal opened up to a fog of light and energy and orbs, and it was really cool. And we managed to reopen it several times over a 4-month period. And I'm kind of working up to this 7th audio clip. So and I reopened the portal several times with multiple witnesses, I might add. You know, it wasn't just me by myself, because people say, you're making this crap up. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I've had several witnesses there with me. And so anyway, toward the end of 2015, I had Andrea Billups up there with me, who teaches journalism at the University of Florida. She wrote for People magazine. She was on presidential campaign tours, very credentialed journalist. And she went up there in October of 2015 with me, and we had visuals of an 8-foot Squatch 6 feet away from us on our left and a 9-foot Squatch 6 feet away from us on our right. And we were in our cots and our bags, and they pulled the tarp over us when it started raining. It was really, really cool. Well, I had to take her back to the hotel in Medford by the airport so she could catch her plane back to Florida. I went back up to the mountain to spend one more night by myself. Lots of activity, woke up the next morning, and for years I'd been asking, can I have a teacher? I want a teacher. Will you give me a teacher? I'd like a teacher. I want to learn more. Can you give me a teacher? I finally got this real strong telepathic mind speak. You're our teacher. That's why we bring our kids to you, so they can learn from you. And we've given you a guardian because you're our teacher. And that was the very individual who pulled the tarp over us when it started raining. Well, the next month in November of 2015, Mike Kincaid, one of my friends, came up from San Francisco. He's a computer geek for the University of San Francisco Medical School. Very brilliant, smart guy, and a wonderful friend. And we were up there, and, you know, he was limping around. Well, one night they pulled back the tarp and the upper blanket off his sleeping bag and worked on him and healed his arm and his leg. And then the last night we were there, around 4 in the morning, I was on my cot, which was only 5 feet away from my truck, and I had the parabolic microphone dish on the cap of the truck, recording all night long. And I woke up around 4, and I sleep with a hoodie over my head and a T-shirt over my eyes, kind of a quirky thing I have. I can't sleep unless I have a T-shirt over my eyes. And and I could hear at the head of my cot, shifting his weight on his feet and breathing. And in my mind, I asked him, are you still there? Well, instead of responding telepathically, he walked between me and the truck. He bent over and said in my right ear, yes, right here beside you. And he said it in a squatchy tone of voice. It's not as clear as you and I talk, but it's definitely there. The syllables are there. And he did say, yes, right here beside you. And so I took the T-shirt off my eyes. He was cloaked. And he walked back to the head of the cot. And I looked at my watch. It was 4:05 in the morning. I knew I started recording at 8 o'clock straight up the night before. So I did the math, 8 to 12, 12 to 4. That's 8 hours plus 5 minutes. So when I got home, I fast-forwarded 8 hours and 5 minutes, and this audio clip that we're about to listen to came up. Yes, right here beside you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and play that one so everybody can hear it. Oh, after that big build-up, I wanted to hear that.
Okay, well,
Darn
everybody go to SoundCloud.com, type in Team Squatching USA, and you can listen to all my audio recordings for free. There's almost 200 of them there, and you can listen to that audio recording, yes, right here beside you.
That
was a game changer, too.
Yes.
And the reason
so clear.
The reason you can hear it?
Well, I did hear it because I know I heard it last time, and it was extremely clear. Again, that's mind blowing.
Exactly, and it's proof of mind speak, because I asked him telepathically. I did not ask with words, and then he responded by walking over between me and the truck, knowing full well I was recording him, and said it out loud so I could hear it with my ear, and he would be recorded. That was done on purpose.
Yes, exactly. It was calculated for sure.
Exactly.
And in a good way. In a good way. Now, I'm going to just, Joe's going to look for another copy so that we can run this again after the break so people can hear it on our show. And also, we have a question from the chat room. Shauna would like to know, what type of smell do Bigfoot have in general?
Actually, I've been out there for 17 years, and more often than not, none. No smell. It can be pretty bad when they want it to be, but they're called the skunk ape in Florida, and the belief is that they do the smell on purpose when they want to get people's attention for one reason or another. But we've also smelled the females who have intentionally kind of put off a very strong floral smell, almost like a Hawaiian lei under your nose. You know, when you get to Hawaii and they put that string of flowers around your neck, and those fresh flowers, the smell goes right up your nostrils. And so the females have put off that kind of scent, and we've smelled that in the dead of winter when nothing was blooming.
Oh my.
That was pretty odd. Yep.
Yeah, so it's not always the stinky smell that people talk about.
It's not. And again, 17 years, 1-2 weekends a month, 2 to 4 days at a time. And I have smelled them, the horrible smell, probably less than 5% of the time.
Wow.
Jay, do you think that they've come here through the portal?
We'll talk more about that after we talk about the trolls crashing. So I guess it takes about 5-6 minutes away, so we can make that transition if you'd like to.
Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure, because that's more of the great reveal that you provided for your audience last week out on the West Coast. And we want to get all those details because, again, you have insight and you have personal experience with the Bigfoot that I don't know anybody else who has this to this level, because you don't have any fear of them. You go looking for them, and it's in a friendship capacity, so you are getting a lot more information that's real out of this, rather than hunting them for photos and all. I mean, I understand why you gave that up. It's like, so how far can you go with that, with foot castings and things like that? It just gets stupid after a while. So you were smart to change your ways. Yeah, exactly. It's like, what? Another footcast. Wow. So so this is a much better way to go about it. And here you're coming back with these audio recordings. And, the one thing that I pick up on from them, and PK, I'd like to hear your thoughts and feelings on this too, but when I hear their voices, I feel so much compassion coming from them. I mean, it's like this great big, like, I don't even know how to describe it other than this great big energy of compassion coming at you from them.
Well, I don't disagree with you. There's that feeling of aloneness that they're trying to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
And that you pick up that very strongly. They want so much to be connected. Communication is the greatest skill we have. The lack of speech, and look at how long, Dr. J, you have been going through this to bring it down to where you've gotten this much from them. God love you. That's a lot of patience on your part.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It has taken a lot of work and a lot of time.
Okay, so it sounds like, Joe has the tape all set up and ready to roll. So let's take a listen.
Needless to say, that blew me away. I asked in my mind, "Are you still there?" I hear him walk between me and the truck. He bends over and says, maybe 6 inches away from my ear, "Yes, right here beside you."
Amazing.
Whoa.
Whoa is right. Now, when he said this, he bent over, and he said this in your ear. Did you feel his breath on you?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Oh, my God.
It just blew me away. That's why I took the T-shirt off right away, and I couldn't see him because he was cloaked. And just so your audience knows what cloaked is, I learned later on through communication that they exist at a higher vibrational frequency than we do. And Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, you must think of it in terms of vibration, frequency, and energy. And so they vibrate at a higher frequency than we do, which takes them out of our visual field of range. However, canines and felines can still see them, even though we can't. Also, cameras can pick them up from time to time, even though our human eye can't. And that's why a lot of the pics are blurry, is because of the vibrational frequency. And people often joke about how blurry the pictures are, and I just wish we could get a picture that's not blurry. Well, the reason why they're blurry is because of their vibrational frequency, and they have to intentionally slow down their vibrational frequency in order for us to see them, because their normal state of existence is the high vibrational frequency. So you could be out there in the woods, they can be right near you, 2 feet away, 5 feet away, 10, 20 feet away, making all kinds of noise, and you don't see them, but you know they're there. You can hear them.
It's amazing. And so this is how we don't see them. We don't see them unless they want us to see them.
Exactly. And they do everything with intention. Everything is with intention. We may think, oh, we saw them, we caught them, it was an accident. No. If you saw one, they wanted you to see them.
And you talk about that in your book also, which is so wonderful and beautifully written, about when that famous footage was taken, that was done on purpose.
Correct. And I think after the break we'll get back to that and the great reveal and try to wrap it all up in 30 minutes or less.
I know. Well, people are just going to have to buy the book because it really is well written. It's excellent, and it has a lot of details on your experiences, and it is a great book to read. Again, the name of the book is Bigfoot, a 50-year journey come full circle. Don't miss this book, everybody. You really need to go get it. It's great. So we're going to take another very short break, and when we come back, we are going to talk more about the portals. We're going to talk more about where Bigfoot comes from. This is something that you are privy to, and you're going to share that with us, as well as other secrets of the Bigfoot world, and also who is taking those children out in the parks. We're going to find out who's behind it, and it's not Bigfoot. So stay tuned, everybody, and we will be right back.
Listening to IRN, the Inception Radio Network, Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, Inception Radio Network listeners. This is Amanda. Just a reminder that Inception Radio Network is on Twitter. Follow us at I_R_N and keep up to date about who's on tonight, what interviews they'll be doing, who's guest spotting, what topics they'll be covering. Tweet to us, tweet about us, retweet topics to your friends, and most importantly, never miss a great show again. That's I_R_N.
Have a computer? Is your internet connection down? Don't worry. Use your trusty cell phone or landline and call into our listen line at 401-283-6700 to listen to the Inception Radio Network 24/7. Again, that call-in number is 401-283-6700. For the Inception Radio Network, I am MJ.
Do you want more out of life? CreativeStrength.us can help you turn your dreams into a reality. Do you suffer from common health issues or stress? Are you sick of living day after day in pain and anxiety? Have you tried traditional methods but see no results? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then the 15-day Scalar Energy Healing free trial is perfect for you. When you sign up for the Scalar Energy free trial, you'll get 3 free treatments: a pathogenic cleanse, nutrient therapy, and chakra balance for every day of the 15-day trial. Go to CreativeStrength.us to learn more about this free trial and sign up. There is no credit card required, only your willingness to improve your life. Anyone, anywhere in the world can register for this free trial of Scalar Energy treatments. Healing energy is all around us, and now CreativeStrength.us has a way to help you harness it to improve your daily life. Only a picture of yourself is needed to be treated with Scalar Energy. Simply email your photo and enjoy the Scalar Energy treatments. You can experience the miraculous, life-changing powers of Scalar Energy Healing from the comfort of your own home. Visit CreativeStrength.us. Change your life for the better, effortlessly. Go to CreativeStrength.us today.
Hello, Inception Radio Network. Would you like your favorite show to be played again live on air? Well, now the choice is in your hands with IRN's live request portal, an easy way to request your favorite show with a simple click.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Spring is here and your local Ace has everything you need for your lawn and garden. Now through Monday only, save up to 25% on key items across the store, like Miracle-Gro Moisture Control Potting Mix and Garden Soils, Scott's Naturescapes Mulch, Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, and much more. Hurry in now to get up to 25% off these and so much more at your local Ace. Sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Includes instant savings offers for Ace Rewards members. See store for details.
IRN's live request portal now gives you exclusive access to all the shows. How easy is it? Simply type a show name or a guest name, click request, even write a dedication message, and that's it. Try it now. Simply visit InceptionRadioNetwork.com, click on the live request tab under the show menu. Now playing your favorite show is just a mouse click away.
Are you a fan of Inception Radio Network? Do you reckon it's the best alternative talk radio station on the planet? Well, if you do, head to facebook.com/Inception Radio Network and like the page. Tell your friends, spread the word, and keep listening to the best.
Are you ready for a new experience of freedom and powerful connection? Would you like a positive, effortless change in your life? Then come to CosmicFusion.com, where we offer the most advanced energy clearing and expansion techniques in the world, with a quantum vortex energy to activate your divine blueprint and life's purpose. When your soul leads the way with cosmic fusion and quantum vortex energy, you can break clear of past difficulties and blocks with the power of the source. With cosmic fusion, the source energy does the work for you. It's easy and effortless. Listen to our free meditation right from our Cosmic Fusion website, the Cosmic Code Meditation. Sign up for one of our interactive webinars today. Come to Cosmic Fusion, www.KOSMICfusion.com, to experience an effortless awakening and transformation. Are you ready for an upgrade? Are you ready for a new experience of living in the fifth dimensional magic and powerful connection? Then visit CosmicFusion.com today. CosmicFusion.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girlz Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, here with my co-host, who is foggy as can be. Take a look at this video. You won't believe it. PK is in a fog over here. And so to take a look, I mean, we're still trying to figure out what's going on. And we have our terrific guest tonight, a guy we really love. Dr. Matthew A. Johnson is with us. We are getting to the bottom of this Bigfoot mystery. He's got the answers. And first and foremost, Dr. J, please tell everybody where they can buy your book, because it's not on Amazon. So where can people get it?
The only place on planet Earth that anyone can get a hold of my book is to go to our website, which is teamsquatchingusa.com. There's no G in Squatchin. So teamsquatchingusa.com. On the home page, there will be a picture of the book. Click on the picture of the book, and then that'll take you to the link to order the book.
Okay, and you also have a series of videos called The Great Reveal. And where can they find those?
They can go to youtube.com and type in Team Squatchin USA and go to my channel. And the 4-part series will be near the top. And there's also just below that a very humorous video of Dr. Dan Riley, a psychiatrist, psychoanalyzing me out in the woods to see whether or not I'm insane or sane. So you'll get a good laugh out of that one. But yeah, watch all 4 parts. All 4 parts are about an hour each, so you're going to have to set some time aside. And it doesn't make any sense to only watch 1, 2, or 3 parts. You got to watch all 4 to make sense out of all of it.
Okay, terrific. Thank you for that information. Now, we've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to let you roll with this, Dr. J, and just pick it up and tell everybody about these portals, where these Bigfoot come from, and who's taking the kids. We got a lot to find out before we let you go tonight, so go for it.
So I'm going to be talking like I live on the East Coast, talking all fast and stuff, instead of the West Coast. So, okay, so we left off with the guardian saying yes right here beside you. And then in December, Cynthia and I went up there and overnighted on Christmas night. And little did we know, a couple days later, the trolls would crash SOA. And that was very upsetting. We cried, but got a vision and was told to go to a new place and that they would guide me. So we did. And when it was confirmed with tree knocks and orbs and whistles and a tree being pushed over in front of us, and so it was pretty cool. And Cynthia and I were there in April of 2016, and in the middle of the night, Onks woke me up and engaged in a 2-hour mind speak with me. And I'm going to try to summarize that mind speak because of the limited time that we have. But he reminded me of the portal that was discovered in the other place. And he said, with the red sky and the dark scraggly vegetation, do you remember that? And I said, yes. And he said, that's our home world. And he said, our planet is dying. Our sun has been burning out for a very long time. And the sky is red because the sun's burning out. The vegetation is dark and scraggly because the sun is burning out. And we need your help. We need a shunt. We need your help to create a shunt. And he said, you're the first human who's ever reopened the portal, and we need your help. And so he talked with me more about how all that came about, and he said that they came over to Earth a long time ago, and when they realized their sun was starting to burn out, about 25% of their population was born with the gift to go through portals, which were left all over the universe by an ancient alien race. And they were able to manipulate the portals and go through them, but only take themselves through it. They didn't have the ability and the energy to manipulate it, hold it open so others could go through with them. So the elders on their home planet sent them out to explore the universe to find a planet that would be good to colonize. And eventually they came across Earth. So they agreed that that's where they were going to send the 25% of the population. And so they came to Earth a long time ago, actually during the time of our dinosaurs. And the 75% remained on the home planet. And again, it takes a long, long time for a sun to burn out. It does not burn out overnight or over 100 years or 1,000 years. It takes a long time for it to burn out. But nevertheless, it was burning out. And Ankh shared with me that they're all connected. What one knows, they all know. What one feels, they all feel. And he said that those who were born on Earth with the gift, the ability to manipulate the portals, would stay in touch with everyone on the home planet. So they would go through the portals to go back to their home planet to visit. But keep in mind, what one knows, they all know. What one feels, they all feel. So it was kind of like they were a thumb drive. They would go through the portal to the home world and pretty much download all the thoughts and feelings from everyone on Earth. So everyone on the home world would kind of experience what was going on Earth. And then, because what one knows, they all know. What one feels, they all feel. They'd download everything on their home world and bring it back to Earth so everyone on Earth could be up to speed on what was going on in their home world. Well, over, a long time, it started getting doom and gloom and, desperate and hopeless and fearful. And Ankh's let me in on some of those feelings for about 30 seconds. He just and here's what it's like. And I felt that, and it was horrible. And he said, we need your help. Can you create a shunt? And he also informed me that they had been waiting for humanity to develop to the point where, technologically they could assist them with, creating a shunt for the portal, because they're a natural species. They're not mechanically inclined or technologically inclined. And so they needed the assistance for the shunt because they couldn't do it themselves. And so they saw our technology develop during World War II to the point where they started taking steps to get our attention. So in the 50s, they started putting tracks all over the place and more visuals. And then they intentionally had Patty waiting for Patterson and Gimlin to come down and film her. And as I shared, their natural state of existence is cloaked, and because of the higher vibrational frequency. So Patty intentionally slowed down her vibrational frequency so Patterson and Gimlin could actually film her. And if you notice when you watch the film, she slowly meanders away down the middle of the creek. She could have cloaked, or she could have hung a left and ran straight for the trees and the brush, She didn't do that. She intentionally just meandered away, letting them film her and film her and film her and film her to get that in order. The game plan was to get everyone's attention so the film would circulate, people would be aware of them, and start coming out to the forest. And the whole idea with that game plan was, you know, it's kind of like a funnel effect. You get a lot of people out there at the top of the funnel out there looking for them, and then some people aren't going to freak out, and they're going to run into them and keep coming back. Others are going to freak out and never go back. And then as the funnel narrows, as it, you know, goes down, eventually some will move from the, you know, giant mountain ape old schooler approach to more of the, you know, forest people and, you know, living in family groups and clans and tribes and intellectual.
This is probably a good place to bring up the fact that what you found out later on from them is they are not particularly close with any extraterrestrials, because I know people are asking the question, why weren't they just ferried to Earth by the ETs?
Zorth made it clear to me that they are not involved with the ETs. They're not involved with UFOs. Another species is that looks like them, but I'll get there in just a little bit. I don't want to jump the gun.
Go ahead.
So with the funnel effect, eventually some people would hopefully stumble across a portal and not freak out. And I've met lots of people who've told me that they've stumbled across portals, they did freak out, and they never went back. And then their hope was that once people stumbled across a portal, that they'd be curious enough to come back and tinker with it and eventually figure out how to reopen it. And then that's when Ankh said, you're the first one on Earth who ever figured out how to reopen the portal. And we need your help. We need a shunt. We need a shunt. Can you put a team together for a shunt? Well, you need to understand that I am not mechanically inclined. I'm not an electrician. And the word shunt was not in my vocabulary. It was in Ankh's vocabulary, but not in my vocabulary. And I had to actually go home and look up shunt. And it's a connection between two places and keeping something open between two places. And specifically with energy, it involves, you know, electrical current to keep something open between 2 points. That was not in my vocabulary. That knowledge was not inside my head. That was being spoken to me independently outside of myself. This was not me hallucinating, creating this all up by myself. So I said, sure. Well, shortly thereafter, I was on Coast to Coast AM with Bob Gimlin, and I shared about the portal and everything. Then I was contacted by Robert Golka, a retired physicist who did some work with MIT and with electric balls or lightning balls, whatever. And he got a hold of me after the radio show because he had been doing studying and research with the Bermuda Triangle, which he believes is a large portal. And the things that I was describing about the portal and SOA were matching what he had put together for the Bermuda Triangle. And so that caught his attention. So I told him about everything that I've just told your audience and asked him if he'd be willing to help us try to create a shunt. And he said, sure. So then we had our conference in April 2015, and I shared with everyone that I had a 2-hour mind speak. I couldn't tell them what we talked about yet, but when I can, I'll let you know. And then I got a hold of Robert Golka after the conference, and, you know, we're on the phone, and he said, hey, send me that device, and I'll tinker with it and see if we can kill one of those Bigfoot and bring the body in to prove it once and all for, you know, once and for all for science.
Oh, no, that's a bozo no-no.
And I'm like, what? And so, you know, he's in his mid-80s, and I was wondering, okay, either he's playing both sides of the fence, or maybe he's got some memory issues going on, or maybe he thinks I'm crazy, so he's just jacking me around to get rid of me. But one way or another, no matter how you look at it, he was not going to be on the team anymore, so I cut off contact with him. But that also put me back at square one. Well, I get a lot of emails and contact from people, and essentially because of time, I'm just going to say this gentleman contacted me. Steve Bachman lives in Washington, and he is mechanically inclined. He remodels, he refurbishes antique tractors, and he got a hold of one of Tesla's designs, and and created a electromagnetic pulsating device off of Tesla's designs, which essentially involved two large deep cycle marine batteries in a large inverter and this huge wheel with 16 powerful magnets on it that would spin around, and it would create energy which would go back through the inverter and keep the batteries charged. So the energy could go and go and go and never drain the batteries, while at the same time producing free energy, electromagnetic energy, that you could actually stand by the device, put your hand out and feel the electromagnetic energy pulsating off the device. And so it was pretty cool.
Amazing.
And so we went up there and essentially Mike Kincaid, Steve Bachman, and myself, and we interacted with Zorth and the Council of 12, which was a total mind blower. And Zorth brought to my attention, through Mind Speak, of going up in the Northern Cascades with Lori Simmons and being with her big guy in the tree and hearing it knock from the inside of the tree and growl at me from inside the tree when I made Lori scared by dragging her closer to the tree. And then also bringing up John Eric Beckjord and him calling me up 17 years ago after my family's encounter at the cave, screaming at me over the phone, "They're in the trees, Matt, they're in the trees." And then Zorth asked me when we were up there on the hill in the dark to count the trees from my left to my right. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Please count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then he said, "We're in the trees." He said, "We are the orbs. We are beings of light. And we live in the trees during the day, soaking up the energy from the sun and the nutrients from the ground. And then at night we come out and we, do their activities." And he, thanked us for being there. And so we went back down. We started up the machine, and essentially, 8 minutes left, so I'm going to just really shorten this. We managed in 2 nights' time to bring over 23,542 souls from the home world. That's it. That's all that was left after, millions of years of their son dying. And they were in active desperation because they were losing souls daily because it was nearing the end. And we brought them over. You could see the orbs. You could hear them all over the place. Grady was blown away, Dad. They're everywhere. And Zorth, after it was all done, and again, if they watch the 4-part video series, then they'll get all of it. And Zorth told me that was me 16 years ago on the mountain above the Oregon caves. Welcome home. That was a mind blower.
Oh, gosh. That's your full circle. Now we understand the title of your book.
That's my full circle.
Oh, amazing.
And then he...
That is amazing.
Then he said, he shared more about them. Their average lifespan is 220 years. Some can live as long as 300, some shorter than 220. That they don't eat large mammals. They'll eat small rodents and birds and eggs and fish and, vegetables and fruit and nuts. But they don't eat the large mammals. And he said the trachon eat the large mammals. And the trachon take the people. And I'm like, the trachon? Who are the trachon? He said a long time ago an alien species brought the trachon over to mine Earth. And when they were done, they left them behind. They're on North America, South America, and Australia. And they're 6 to 8 feet tall, some a little taller. They're upright, bipedal, hairy. Zorth said they're ugly. They're not so bright. They're menacing, malevolent, and they're the ones that eat the mammals, and they're the ones that take the humans, which lends some credence to David Pilates' theories with 411, his book series. And I've never been a big fan of David Pilates because he peddles fear and I think inappropriately throwing the Bigfoot forest people under the bus. And now that Zorth made this clear to me, it's not them, it's the trachon. Well, now it makes sense. And, in David Pilates' defense, he didn't know that there were 2 separate species. And Zor said that they will.
And that's
sometimes.
very good for us to know, though.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to know about this because you're right. You know, Bigfoot has been blamed for this because people that have sighted kidnapped children, they've seen these big objects, these big creatures with them and not known what they were. Of course, the only association they might have would be Bigfoot. But now we have a new understanding, thanks to you, that it is not Bigfoot. Bigfoot means no harm to human beings and would never take people or children. So that's good to know. So it's this other species that apparently is not to be trusted.
Correct.
The Trachons.
And they are not the orbs, and they are not beings of light. They are solid flesh and blood creatures. And they're not anything like the Bigfoot forest people who are the orbs, who are beings of light, who are able to shape shift into anything they want to be. Zorth, I asked him, so am I done? Am I free from this compulsion to come out here all these years? And he said, yes, you're free. And he said, however, we would like you to continue to be a teacher for our children. We'd like you to continue to bring people here. We would like you to be our ambassador to help people understand us better. And please let them know that if kind people with good hearts and open minds reach out to us, we will reach back to them. Also let them know we are in the trees, and the trees are everywhere. So the bottom line is you don't have to get on horseback or a mule team or a Jeep or a quad and go 25, 50 miles out into the wilderness to find them, because they're in the trees, and the trees are everywhere, not just out in the wilderness.
So you can basically have a communication, with them anywhere where there are trees, which is great to know. I mean, these beings that are just, your experience with them is so wondrous and so, again, compassionate and loving and kind. There is nothing threatening that ever happened to you with this. It's very encouraging. And I hope it'll help everybody to calm down about Bigfoot and realize that there's no harm meant from them to us. So we can really establish a communication with them.
Right. Yeah, people have nothing to be afraid of.
Why not?
Yep. People have nothing to be afraid of.
It's wonderful. What you've done is break through a barrier here and brought our evolution as humans up a notch by being able to be open to communicate with the forest people.
Thank you. I would encourage people to get their hands on my book for a more thorough presentation, as well as watch the 4-part series of The Great Reveal on my YouTube channel. I think they'll get a lot more out of it. And,
there it is.
We teased them. We gave them a nice overview with the hour-and-a-half program, but there's a lot more they can learn.
Oh, there's so much more. I learned, and I've talked to you at length about this, and I learned a lot by reading the book. I mean, I really did. It's an amazing amount of material, and you write in a very conversational style, so it's easy to read. It's easy to get involved. I couldn't put it down. I highly recommend the book. I know, PK, you watched all of the videos, so I'm sure you recommend those. And yes, people.
Watching. You had to go through one app, right?
Yeah, and so.
So interesting.
It's great. So we're thrilled that you were able to come on the show with us tonight, Dr. J. And thank you for all the good work you've been doing. And we certainly hope you'll continue to be an ambassador to them, because they must have so much more to tell about their home planet and their story of how they've adapted to planet Earth. And I would love to know what they think of us crazy things that inhabit this Earth.
Maybe we don't.
I would love to know.
Well, they certainly
know, because we know how we
are. They certainly have plans for the future, and I think they're going to let me in on a lot more that I'm eventually going to be able to share with everyone. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's going to be great. I know. I have so many questions in my mind. I mean, you've explained more of what they eat and how they live in the trees during the day and then they come out at night. But, I mean, I want to know more. I want to know, do they use crystals? Do they can they visit us in our dreamscape? There's just so many more questions. So please do continue your wonderful relationship with them. And we're going to have you back on the show for sure. Now, next week, we're back to alien hunting. We've got Daryl Sims. He's coming in. He's going to share all of his experiences with us, as much as he can pack into an hour and a half. So everybody, we will see you again next week. We'll actually see you again next week, because now we're on video. You can see us too. And in the meantime, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Spring is here and your local Ace has everything you need for your lawn and garden. Now through Monday only, save up to 25% on key items across the store, like Miracle-Gro Moisture Control Potting Mix and Garden Soils, Scott's Naturescapes Mulch, Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, and much more. Hurry in now to get up to 25% off these and so much more at your local Ace. Sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Includes instant savings offers for Ace Rewards members. See store for details.